I also saw that you said you took too many shrooms when you were young, and that led you to have hallucinogen persisting perception disorder, HPPD. Can you explain what this is?
Well, that condition is classified by persistent visual snow, floaters, morphing objects. Like, I see them right now. I see them all the time.
The snow is in the room.
The snow is definitely in the room. It's all over you. And basically, it wasn't that I took too many shrooms. I think that it was I took about an eighth of semi-essence mushrooms, which are the ones that come from the earth instead of cow shit. And I took an eighth of those at my friend Toby's house, and which is a normal amount, but I was in 8th grade. So I woke up the next morning with these extreme, visual distortions, and I thought that it would go away. I tried to make it go away, but there's really no cure for HPPD. It's a lifelong condition, so it's just a matter of dealing with it and realizing that it is only visual. So when people ask me, "Hey, I have HPPD. How do I cope with it?" I say, remember that every other sense that you have, what you can hear, what you can taste, your feet on the ground, you're still on Earth. You're still here.
Well, you said it's only visual.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, gratitude for being alive at all.
Yeah.
It's great. But you said that this led you into some dark psychological places like depersonalization disorder.
Yeah. Depersonalization is the feeling that you are not real, but that reality still exists. Derealization is the idea that reality itself is an illusion created by your mind, and that you're the only person alive, and that everything that your brain is projecting to your visual cortex is a lie, and that you're the only living human being.
Both are pretty intense.
HPPD creates both of those things. And so when I've talked to people who have the condition, it's really either or, but more than 70% of people with HPPD fall into either category. They're both coping mechanisms for I don't know what really happens. I talked to a researcher once named Dr. Abraham. He lives in upstate New York. He's the leading scientist when it comes to HPPD research. He's the only one who actually seems to care about finding a cure. Mm-hmm. And the only known treatment right now is alcohol and benzodiazepines.
That's not good.
Right. So alcoholism, something that came into my life pretty early. Alcohol abuse as a result of that experience, because that helps with the visual symptoms, makes some of the static go away.
Man.
Never tried benzos though.
So can you explain to me where in that spectrum you are? So do you sometimes have a sense that you're not real?
Sometimes.
And something else is not real? Like the reality is not real?
Yeah, I experience it all the time, But like I said, my job helps with that, because I get to feel like when you seek out extremes to a certain extent and you put yourself on the front lines of intense events, whether it be politically or socially, or just dive into deep fringe subcultures, you get this feeling that you're real. And being filmed is also confirmation, if you can look at the MP4 file, that you're in fact living here on Earth.
Confirming that you were in it with reality by watching yourself on video.
Exactly.
So is that basically the engine behind all the extreme interviews you've done?
Well, I got HPPD around the same time that I began this journalism course in 9th grade. So I sort of always used journalism as a therapeutic mechanism to deal with some of these symptoms, especially depersonalization. There's some pretty good illustrations of what it feels like. Kind of feels like you're trapped behind your eyes, or that you're just this like nebulous soul that's trapped in a flesh suit that you're not really a part of. You're sort of puppeteering a flesh and bone skin suit.
Trapped? Or just the ability to step outside of yourself?
You feel like your soul is not something that is connected to your body. It's something living in your head. It's really hard to explain to people who haven't gone through derealization or depersonalization. But if you go on support groups, they always say, like, how do I break free from behind my eyes? Like dark stuff like that.
Also, you're trapped. I mean, there's a higher state of being through meditation that you can kind of step outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. But this is not that.
Unfortunately, it was kind of the meditative path, or the Eastern path that I took, and kind of fused that with psychedelic culture in Seattle that took me down the psychedelic use rabbit hole in the first place. So I'd say it all started with Siddhartha.
Siddhartha, that's a good book. Have you done shrooms since then?
No, I don't really do psychedelic drugs, but a lot of people think that I'm against them, which I'm not. It just doesn't work for me. If it works for you, I'm sure they can be really fun. Especially, I know there's lots of therapeutic uses for acid and ketamine and psilocybin. But I personally abstain from those kind of anything psychotropic. I try to stay away from.
Drinking a bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't drink at all before I had the HPPD stuff. And I would have drank later in life, but definitely 14, 15 every day after school, I'd drink a 40 ounce of Mickey's. It's like it kind of looks like Old English, but the bottle's green and it has a hornet on the side of it. Just kind of became a ritual just to deal with the anxiety of that situation.
And it made the snow go away.
Yeah, alcohol really works to suppress HPPD symptoms.